Welcome to our deep dive. This time we're going to be exploring astrology.
Oh, yeah.
Um, Specifically, we're going to be looking at the zodiac, the 12 signs we hear so much about, and how they might actually shape our personalities
Right.
and even our lives. And for this journey,
Yeah.
our guide is going to be Max Heindel, Message of the Stars.
Oh, fantastic.
And we've got some excerpts from that and some really cool illustrations as well.
Oh, cool.
So yeah, get ready for some aha moments, I think, as we kind of unpack this system.
It is a complex system, but it's so intriguing, and it's really captivated people for centuries, different cultures finding meaning in those stars. But today, yeah, we'll be focusing on really kind of this one system connecting those constellations we call the zodiac to human characteristics.
Right. So we all know the 12 signs, Aries, Taurus, Gemini, and so on.
Right.
But what's the real deal? What makes these signs tick?
Well, each sign occupies a 30-degree slice of that celestial circle, that 360-degree path that the sun seems to travel throughout the year. Right.
So it's like a cosmic pie, divided into 12 pieces.
I like that.
And the sun spends about a month in each of those signs. And that's really what determines what we call your sun sign.
Right.
So the sun was in when you were born.
So like a cosmic spotlight shining on that particular sign at the moment you're born?
Exactly.
Okay. But it's not just about the signs themselves, right?
Yeah.
There's this whole concept of the 12 houses, which feels even more intricate to me.
The 12 houses, yeah, those are like the stage where life kind of plays out.
Okay.
Each one representing a specific area of experience. So imagine these houses, also number 1 through 12, just like the signs arranged in a circle on an astrological chart.
Right.
And they really do cover everything from our personality possessions to relationships,
Wow.
even our hidden depths.
It's like a cosmic blueprint for our lives, but broken down into these 12 kind of distinct categories.
Exactly.
But these categories get pretty specific.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I'm thinking about the 4th house.
Yeah.
I know it's not just home and family, right? No, your spot on the 4th house really dives deeper into those foundations of our lives. So it's about our childhood, our ancestry, and where we find that really deep sense of belonging.
Right.
It shapes our emotional security and even how we nurture others.
That's so interesting.
Yeah.
So if someone has, let's say, a lot of fiery Aries energy in their 4th house,
Yes.
their home life might be pretty dynamic.
Yeah.
Maybe even a bit unconventional.
It's possible they might have a strong need for independence, within that family structure.
Right.
Or maybe a very active, energetic home environment.
Okay, so we've got these signs as these kind of cosmic archetypes, and then houses are like the setting where their energies kind of play out.
Yeah.
But where I'm struggling is, where did the planets fit into all this?
That's where things get really intriguing because each zodiac sign is ruled by a planet or sometimes two.
Okay.
And this really adds another layer of symbolism and meaning to how that sign expresses itself.
So it's like each planet is lending its own kind of unique energy and flavor to its corresponding sign.
Exactly.
Yeah. But wait, if each planet rules a specific sign, wouldn't that make people with the same sun sign basically the same?
Right.
Where's the individual variation come from?
That's a great question. So while the sun sign provides like a basic framework, it's actually the positions of all the planets and the signs and the houses at the time of your birth
You're right.
that really create your unique astrological signature.
Okay.
Like taking a snapshot of the sky at the exact moment you were born.
So it's way more nuanced than just saying, I'm a Gemini, so I must be like this.
Exactly.
There's all these other planetary influences that are weaving their way into the mix.
Yes.
This is starting to make me rethink how I even view astrology.
Exactly. And that's what makes it so fascinating. There's always more to uncover.
Right.
But let's get back to those planetary rulers. So what does our guide, Max Heindel, Message of the Stars, tell us about the specific traits associated with each sign and its ruler?
Okay, let's dive in. Let's start with fiery Aries. And I'm picturing Mars, the planet of action, as the ruler here, right?
Yeah. You got it. Aries, ruled by Mars, is known for being active, energetic, and often impulsive.
Makes sense.
Think of that ram imagery charging headfirst into everything.
Right.
But that Martian energy in Aries can manifest as a pioneering spirit, making you a natural leader and a trailblazer.
So it's not just about being impulsive. It's about channeling that energy into something bold and groundbreaking.
Exactly.
That's a much richer perspective. What about grounded Taurus?
Yes.
I know Venus is the ruler planet of love and beauty,
Right.
but how does that play out in their personality?
Well, Taurus is all about savoring that physical world.
Okay.
So Venus's influence makes them sensual, appreciative of beauty, grounded in their values.
Right.
Think of the bull strong and steady,
Mm.
but that grounded nature can sometimes tip into stubbornness.
That makes sense. They're not easily swayed.
Right.
It's fascinating how these planetary energies can have both positive and, let's say, challenging expressions.
Right.
Okay, what about quick-witted Gemini?
Gemini is ruled by Mercury, the planet of communication and intellect, making Geminis naturally curious, adaptable, and quick-witted communicators. Think of the twins symbolizing their dualistic nature, that constant kind of mental stimulation.
Okay, but wait, if Geminis and Virgos are both ruled by Mercury,
Yes,
how can their personalities be so different that feels counterintuitive?
it's a great observation. So while they share that ruler, the expression of Mercury's energy is very distinct in each sign.
Right.
With Gemini, it's about that quick thinking adaptability, connecting with others through communication.
Okay, so maybe it's like Mercury's energy is being filtered through the lens of the sign's overall archetype.
Exactly.
That makes sense. What about emotional Cancer ruled by the moon?
Cancer, ruled by the ever-changing moon, embodies that ebb and flow of emotions.
Huh?
They're deeply nurturing, intuitive, and sensitive, just like the crab, their symbol protecting that soft underbelly with a hard shell.
So Cancers are all about that protective shell, but also that vulnerability beneath.
Exact.
Such a poignant image. Okay, what about radiant Leo?
Leo is ruled by the sun, the center of our solar system.
Right.
This makes them naturally confident, generous, and expressive, often seeking the spotlight.
Right.
Think of the lion radiating power and warmth.
That tracks. They definitely have a presence, like they light up a room when they enter.
Yes.
What about meticulous Virgo? Also ruled by Mercury, like
Yeah.
Gemini.
Right. So with Virgo, Mercury's energy manifests in a more grounded and analytical way.
Okay.
Virgos are known for being detail-oriented, practical, and discerning.
Right.
And their symbol, the Virgin, represents purity, service, and striving for perfection.
So if Gemini is about the spark of ideas, Virgo is about making those ideas a reality in a very precise and organized way.
Exactly.
Okay, that clarifies things. What about harmonious Libra,
Libra.
ruled by Venus, like Taurus?
Right. Libra embodies Venus's desire for beauty and harmony,
Okay.
but in a more social and relational way. So they're diplomatic, fair-minded, and always seeking balance.
Right.
Their symbol, the scales,
Hmm.
perfectly represents that pursuit of equilibrium.
But I've also heard that Libras can be indecisive.
Yes,
Is that connected to their desire for balance?
absolutely. Their need to weigh all sides
Uh-huh.
can sometimes make it difficult to reach a firm decision.
Right.
They're striving to find that fairest and most harmonious solution.
I can see how that could be both a strength and a challenge.
Right.
What about intense Scorpio?
Ah, Scorpio.
Always shrouded in a bit of mystery.
Yes, one of the most complex signs,
Right.
co-ruled by Mars, the planet of action and desire, and Pluto, the planet of transformation and power,
Wow.
giving them an intense, passionate, and often enigmatic nature.
So they have that double dose of Martian drive and Plutonian depth.
Exactly.
Their symbol, the scorpion, seems fitting given their reputation for being a bit, well, stinging when provoked.
Right. Well, the scorpion is a powerful symbol representing Scorpio's ability to defend itself,
Right.
but also its capacity for transformation. So it embodies both their strength and their potential for really deep emotional experiences.
Okay, now we're getting into the depths. What about adventurous Sagittarius, always seeking those new horizons?
Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter, the planet of expansion, optimism, and good fortune, making them naturally adventurous, philosophical, and always seeking knowledge and new experiences. Think of their symbol, the archer, aiming their arrow high, reaching for those distant targets.
So they're not just wanderers, but seekers of truth and wisdom, exploring both the physical and intellectual realms.
Exactly.
That's inspiring. What about ambitious Capricorn, always striving for success?
Capricorn is ruled by Saturn, the planet of structure, discipline, and responsibility.
Right.
This gives them a strong sense of ambition and a drive to achieve their goals through hard work and perseverance.
That makes sense. They seem to have that inner drive to climb to the top, whatever their mountain might be.
Yes.
2 signs left.
Yeah.
What about Aquarius, the innovator, the rebel?
Aquarius is traditionally ruled by Saturn, just like Capricorn. But the discovery of Uranus, the planet of innovation and rebellion, really added another dimension to this sign,
Okay.
making them independent, humanitarian, and often unconventional.
So they're not just breaking the rules for the sake of it, but aiming to create a better world through their own unique vision.
Exactly.
That's pretty cool. And finally, we have dreamy Pisces, the last sign of the zodiac.
Pisces is ruled by both Jupiter, that planet of expansion, and Neptune, the planet of dreams and illusions.
Oh, wow.
This makes them highly intuitive, compassionate, and often drawn to those creative pursuits.
That makes sense given their symbol, the fish swimming through the depths of the cosmic ocean.
Right.
They're often seen as the dreamers of the zodiac.
Yes, and their dual rulers give them a boundless imagination and a deep connection to that subconscious realm. They are often the artists, the healers, and the spiritual seekers of the world.
Wow, we just went through all the signs and their rulers.
We did.
It's a lot to take in,
It is.
but it's starting to make more sense how these planetary energies shape each sign's expression.
Right. And remember, this is just the beginning.
Yeah.
We've only really scratched the surface in the next part of our deep dive. We'll explore how these signs really interact within that dynamic landscape of your birth chart.
I'm ready. Let's do it.
Okay.
Okay. My head is spinning a bit, but in a good way, we've gone from like those basic zodiac archetypes to this whole idea of planets lending their energy
Yeah.
to each sign. But how does it all play out in an individual's birth chart?
Right.
I'm guessing it gets pretty intricate.
It absolutely does. It's not just about knowing each piece in isolation, like the signs, the planets, the houses, but
Yeah.
it's really understanding that symphony that they create together.
Yeah.
It's about the interactions, the nuances, the whole astrological tapestry.
So if my sun sign is, let's say, Leo, and it's located in my 10th house, the house of career and public image,
Yes.
what might that suggest about my professional life?
Well, with Leo ruled by the sun in that 10th house, you might naturally shine in those leadership roles
Oh,
or
yeah.
careers where you can really express your creativity and individuality.
Right.
You might be drawn to fields where you can be in the spotlight and inspire others.
That makes sense given Leo's desire for self-expression and, their connection to the sun's kind of radiant energy.
Exactly.
But would other planets in my chart also influence my career path?
Without a doubt, it's the unique combination of all the planets in those different signs and houses that really paint that complete picture of your astrological influences.
Okay.
It's like a cosmic fingerprint, totally unique to you.
So it's not just about my sun sign or even just the planets in a particular house.
Right.
It's about how all those pieces kind of weave together.
Right.
It's about the aspects, right? Those
Yeah.
angular relationships between planets.
Precisely. Aspects are like the conversations happening between the planets in your chart.
Right.
They can be harmonious, creating a nice flow of energy,
Okay.
or they can be challenging, creating tension and friction.
So let's say someone has their Mars, the planet of action, and a challenging square aspect to Saturn, the planet of discipline and limitations.
Okay.
How might that play out?
That could manifest as a tendency to encounter obstacles or delays when taking action. It might feel like a constant kind of uphill battle.
Right.
This person might need to learn patience, perseverance, and really how to work strategically within limitations.
So it's not that this aspect is bad,
Mm.
but it presents like a specific set of challenges that this person kind of needs to navigate.
Exactly.
Okay, what about a more harmonious aspect, like a trine between Venus and Jupiter?
Okay.
Wouldn't that be considered like lucky?
Trines are generally considered to be flowing and supportive.
Okay.
So a trine between Venus, the planet of love and beauty, and Jupiter, that planet of expansion and abundance,
Right.
could manifest as good fortune in love, social connections, or even financial matters. This person might have a natural charm and a knack for attracting positive experiences.
That sounds lovely.
Yeah.
It's like having a little cosmic wind at your back.
Yes.
Okay, so besides the sun and moon, which we've already discussed,
Right.
what are some of the other major players in an individual's chart?
Well, there's Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn, often called the personal planets.
Okay.
Because their influence is felt more directly, in our daily lives.
Okay.
We've already touched on their general meanings, but let's see how they might show up in different areas of life.
Okay, let's play with some scenarios. So let's imagine someone has Mercury in Leo in their 10th house.
Okay.
How might that kind of fiery combination influence their career?
Mercury in Leo loves to communicate in dramatic and engaging ways.
Mhm.
So in the 10th house of career, this could suggest someone who thrives in roles where they can express themselves creatively,
Right.
captivate an audience, perhaps as a performer, a motivational speaker, or an entrepreneur.
So their work might have like a theatrical flair and they might shine when they're in the spotlight.
Exactly.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, what if someone has Venus in Virgo in their 4th house?
Okay.
The house of home and family.
Yes.
How might that manifest in their kind of domestic life?
Well, with Venus in Virgo, love is expressed through acts of service
Uh-huh.
and attention to detail. So in that 4th house, this person might create a beautiful, organized, and harmonious home environment.
Right.
where everything has its place.
Yeah.
They might express love through those practical gestures like cooking healthy meals
Right.
or keeping the house spotless.
So their love language is acts of service with a touch of Virgo perfectionism.
Exactly.
I can see that. What about someone with Mars and Scorpio
Okay.
in their first house of personality?
Ooh.
That seems like a potent combination.
This could suggest someone who comes across as intense, passionate, and magnetic.
Okay.
Mars in Scorpio brings that fierce determination and a powerful presence, especially when expressed in that first house, which governs how we project ourselves into the world.
So their intensity might be the first thing you notice about them.
Yes.
Like you can't ignore their energy.
Precisely. They likely have a strong will and a drive to delve deep into everything they do.
Okay. For a lighter example, let's consider Jupiter and Sagittarius in the 9th house of travel and higher learning.
Okay.
I'm already picturing someone with a serious case of wanderlust. Maybe backpacking across continents or immersing themselves in different cultures.
Well, Jupiter expands everything it touches.
Right.
And in its own sign of Sagittarius, that energy is amplified.
Right.
And in that 9th house, this could manifest as a love of travel, a thirst for knowledge, or even a deep connection to spirituality and philosophy.
So they're not just traveling for the sake of it, but seeking a deeper understanding of the world and their place in it.
Exactly.
Fascinating. What about Saturn? Let's say someone has Saturn in Capricorn in their second house, which rules possessions and values.
Okay.
That's an interesting one.
That is an interesting one because Saturn represents structure, discipline, and responsibility.
Right.
And in Capricorn, its own sign, that energy is amplified.
Yeah.
And in the second house, it often manifests as a responsible and practical approach to finances and material possessions.
So this might be someone who's careful with their money, saves diligently,
Yes.
and perhaps even builds wealth through hard work and perseverance.
Yes, exactly. They likely value stability and security and are willing to put in the effort to create that solid foundation for themselves.
Okay, I'm starting to get a feel for how these personal planets can color different areas of life.
Yeah.
But what about those outer planets, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto?
Yes.
I know they're called generational planets because they move more slowly through the zodiac, influencing entire generations.
Right.
But do they also have like an individual impact on our charts?
They absolutely do. While their impact might be less obvious on a day-to-day basis, they represent those deeper psychological and spiritual forces that really shape our lives in profound ways.
Okay.
Their placement in a specific sign and house in our birth chart can reveal a lot about our unconscious drives, our karmic patterns, and even our soul's purpose.
Ooh, that sounds deep.
Okay.
Tell us more. What kind of themes do these generational planets bring to the table?
Okay. We've explored the signs, the houses, the personal planets, and even touched on those generational planets, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto.
Right. But I think the question on everyone's mind is, so what? Like, how does all this astrological knowledge actually apply to my life?
Right. Well, that's the golden question, and it's what makes astrology more than just a fascinating system.
Right.
It's really a tool for self-discovery and understanding. It's not about predicting the future,
Right.
but about understanding those energies that are shaping our lives.
Yeah.
It's like having a cosmic roadmap, but
Yeah.
you get to choose the destination.
I love that analogy. So instead of saying, because my moon is in this sign, this specific event will happen.
Right.
It's more about saying, because my moon is in this sign, I might experience this type of emotion or have these tendencies in relationships.
Precisely. It's about recognizing patterns, understanding our strengths and challenges, and ultimately making choices that align with our authentic selves.
Right. Yeah. Okay, so let's get practical. How can we actually use our birth charts to make decisions, navigate relationships,
Right.
or even choose a career path?
Well, let's say you're feeling a bit stuck in your career, unsure of your next move, looking at your 10th house.
Okay.
The House of Career and Public Image can offer some valuable insights.
So if I have a lot of earthy Capricorn energy in my 10th house, maybe with Saturn or even Mars, it might suggest that I thrive in structured environments
Right.
and am naturally drawn to leadership roles.
That's a great example. Capricorn's ambition and discipline, especially with Saturn's influence, often excel in those settings.
Right.
On the other hand, if your 10th house is filled with Aquarian or Piscean energy, maybe with Uranus or Neptune making an appearance, it might point towards a more unconventional path.
Okay.
You might be drawn to humanitarian work, creative fields, or something completely outside the corporate box.
So instead of forcing ourselves into a career that doesn't feel aligned, we can look to our charts to see what kind of work might naturally resonate with our energies.
Exactly.
That's pretty empowering. What about relationships? Can astrology help us understand those messy, beautiful dynamics.
Absolutely. Looking at your Venus sign, as well as the planets in your 5th house, the house of romance and pleasure.
Right.
And your 7th house, the house of partnerships, can reveal so much about how you approach love, intimacy, and commitment.
So if my Venus is in fiery Aries, I might be drawn to passionate, independent partners.
Right.
While someone with Venus in nurturing Cancer might crave emotional security and deep connection.
Yes. And understanding those core needs and patterns can help us navigate relationships with more awareness and compassion.
Right.
We can appreciate our partner's unique love language and learn to communicate more effectively.
That's like having a cosmic decoder ring for relationships,
Yeah.
helping us decipher those unspoken needs and desires.
Exactly.
What about those outer planets? How might Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto show up in our relationships?
Oh, that's where things get really interesting.
Okay.
Uranus, the planet of change and disruption, can show up as a need for freedom and individuality within a relationship.
Right.
It might manifest as a sudden attraction or
Okay.
even an unexpected breakup.
So a Uranus transit might bring about a sudden shift in the relationship dynamic,
Right.
forcing us to reevaluate our needs and kind of redefine the terms of the partnership.
Exactly.
Oh.
Now, Neptune, the planet of dreams and illusions,
Okay.
can bring a sense of enchantment and romantic idealism,
Right.
but it can also create confusion and blurred boundaries if we're not careful.
So we might need to be mindful of idealizing our partners or projecting our fantasies onto the relationship,
Yes,
especially when Neptune is prominent in our chart or making a significant transit.
precisely. It's about finding a balance between the magical and the real, and then there's Pluto,
Right.
the planet of transformation and power dynamics.
Uh-huh.
Pluto's influence can bring about intense experiences and deep emotional transformation within relationships.
So a Pluto transit might bring up issues of control jealousy or even a need to completely redefine the power structure within the partnership.
It can definitely feel that way. But remember, Pluto's transformations, while often challenging, ultimately lead to growth and a deeper understanding of ourselves and our needs.
It's like Pluto takes us on a deep dive into the underworld of our relationships, forcing us to confront our shadows and emerge transformed.
Exactly. Now, beyond relationships, astrology can offer guidance in other areas of life,
Okay.
like personal growth, finances, and even health.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Tell us more about how we can use those cosmic insights to navigate those areas.
Well, for personal growth, Saturn is a key player.
Okay.
Looking at Saturn's placement in your chart can reveal the areas where you might face challenges or need to develop more discipline.
So instead of seeing Saturn as a planet of limitations,
Right.
we can view it as a cosmic coach, pushing us to become our best selves through hard work and perseverance.
Exactly. It's about embracing those Saturnian lessons and using them to build character and resilience, and when it comes to finances.
Okay.
The second house can offer clues about your relationship with money, your values, and your potential for abundance.
So someone with a lot of Taurian or Capricornian energy in their second house might be naturally good at managing money
Yes.
and creating financial security.
It's certainly possible they might have a knack for investing, a strong work ethic, or a natural ability to attract resources.
What about health? I know astrology isn't a substitute for medical advice,
Right.
but can our charts offer any insights into our well-being?
Well, while it's essential to consult with healthcare professionals for any health concerns,
Right.
paying attention to planets in the 6th house, the house of health and daily routines,
Okay.
can highlight areas of the body that might need extra care or attention.
So if I have a lot of Virgo energy in my 6th house,
Mhm.
I might benefit from focusing on healthy habits, paying attention to my diet,
Right.
and incorporating mindfulness practices into my daily routine.
Precisely. It's about using those astrological insights to support your overall well-being.
I like that.
Remember, astrology is a complex system,
Yeah.
and there's always more to learn and explore. It's a journey of self-discovery that unfolds over a lifetime.
This has been such an incredible journey.
It has.
We've gone from the basics of the zodiac to this intricate interplay of planets and houses.
Yeah.
And now we're starting to see how it all applies to our lives. I don't know about you, but I'm feeling inspired to delve deeper into my own chart
Me too.
and see what other cosmic treasures I can uncover.
Absolutely.
Thank you for joining us on this cosmic adventure. Until next time on The Deep Dive, keep exploring the stars.